Man, Eric, I'm sorry I'm late, man. My cousin called and kept me on the phone for 15 minutes. He has to call me once a day down in Virginia. Tell me what he had for supper the night before. And I've heard the same thing for like 25 years, man. He has to tell me about potatoes, that there are only two ways you can do a potato. You can beat a potato or you can whip a potato. And I finally had enough today. I said, Danny, you mash potatoes, all right, boy? So sorry I'm late. Hey guys, welcome to the Six Dudes and a Six Pack show. Trey himself with Mr. Eric to the Ryan. So what's up, buddy?
Hey, just down here in Mississippi at Camp Kamasa. We're down here with the Air Force. We're helping to build a camp for special needs kids.
That's
Hopefully,
awesome.
they'll be able to enjoy this thing here in the next few years.
So with that it being in Mississippi, would that be an all year thing, or is that seasonal, summertime, or how would that work? Do you know?
I don't quite know yet what their eventual plans are for this thing, but it's one of those awesome opportunities where the Air Force, our people get great training by coming down here and putting up the buildings and everything that goes along with that. You know, from start to finish, our people are used to doing this sort of thing around the world. But it's great for our young people to get some experience doing it. It's great for our middle management folks to get some experience in running those projects, and it's obviously great for the community. They really benefit from it as well.
So you're down there for 2 weeks? So is this like a start to finish for you guys, or are you guys just part of a big chapter with this?
Yeah, it's part of a much bigger thing. It's called an well, it doesn't matter what it's called, but we could be down here for as much as 3 years collectively, and then we've got to move on. Like next year, somebody else will be taking over for the Air Force to see this thing through. Hopefully, they'll be the ones that finish it, whoever it is that takes over for us.
Okay, that's awesome. You guys do that. So is this a first time thing where you're doing this for the kids, or do you do this and do you travel the nation? I'm talking you personally, or is Mississippi like your go-to spot for where you're located?
It kind of depends on what unit you're located with, or what unit you belong to.
Okay.
This is my first trip back with civil engineering in a long time, and way back when, I guess I was gone for about 11 years, and I've been back for 2.5. So, you do the math on that. About 15 years ago, 14, 15 years ago, we went up to Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts, and that was a pretty great opportunity as well. What we were doing there was building a recreation center for the children of a local Indian tribe, and that was pretty awesome. Yeah.
So did you actually get to hang out with the tribe at all? Get to talk with them, learn a little bit about their culture, or no?
Yeah. In fact, that was the first time that I ever saw anybody turning human waste into fertilizer, which was kind of mind blowing, and I'm still not sure that I'm okay with it.
Right. Yeah.
Cow poop good, my poop, maybe not so much. But yeah, they had a big processor for it, and I guess the crops that they grew, and that was all fertilized by it and everything. So I don't know. I said probably not for me, not something I'll be trying on my own crops out there.
Not unless we go into a zombie apocalypse or something like that. Then you might have to,
Yeah, even then, I don't know if we'd be in one place for long enough to bother growing anything, but we'll see. Hopefully, we never have to find out.
You never know. The Walking Dead it's basically like a safety guide to when this actually happens and goes down, what we're going to need to do.
I just hope that if it ever happens, I hope that the zombies are like they are in The Walking Dead and not like they are in, say, Zombieland. I hope they don't. I hope they can't run after you.
Yeah, or that that one with Brad Pitt and what was a zombie?
Oh
yeah, those were fast. You weren't getting away from them motherfuckers, man.
Right. They wanted to eat you. They were getting you.
Yeah, you can run, but you can't hide. I did not enjoy that movie though. I thought it sucked.
Really? I thought it was actually pretty decent. I thought it was okay.
I have to get into the world then. I watched it a couple times, and I just wasn't impressed with it. Kind of like I wasn't impressed. I don't know if you're a Walking Dead fan or not, but I can tell you one damn thing. So a couple days ago, Sunday, I live to watch new episodes of The Walking Dead. This was the second to last one for the season, and then they're done, you know. It was an hour of my time I'll never be able to get back. Never. Nothing happened at all. I mean, like zero. Not it wasn't like it was no action or drama, but there was no story to it whatsoever. And I believe that that's why coming up this summer they're doing the final season and everything. I just think they're written out of it, man. I don't know if they know where to go anymore.
Yeah,
Haven't
I
looked
quit
that way.
watching. I quit watching kind of in the middle of a season a year or two ago. It had something to do with COVID. It also had to do with me ditching DirecTV and going strictly to the subscription services, and I don't really care about that stuff either. I've just more or less lost interest in a lot of what I used to enjoy. Part of it is because these shows are running way longer than they need to. Like The Walking Dead has probably gone on for 4 seasons longer than it needed to. And at least they're not developing characters and the plot and everything anymore the way they used to. The first few seasons were absolutely dead on captivating, man, to me.
Correct.
And then AMC has a way of doing this with every series they run. What was that biker series they had on there for a while?
Which
Uh,
one?
the bikers in California going around murdering everybody and
Oh
each other and
man,
everything.
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, there you go. Sons of Anarchy. Dude, I was absolutely hooked on that show for the first few seasons. And at one point I go, there is no point to this season that we're in right now. I don't know if it was season 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever it was, but there was a point where I just said, why in the hell are they still making this show? They're dragging this out, and they do it with a very specific kind of formatting. If you notice, toward the end of each episode, I mean, every episode after a TV show has been on for a while with AMC, they will go through this montage where they show every main character, and it's some dumbass song that they're playing, right? So there's a song playing, and there's a montage of you're watching each character thinking about, they're reflecting on whatever it is that's happened in this episode or is happening right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, are we seriously doing the montage again? It's mind numbing, man. I don't know how people are captivated by that. So I'm so glad that I watched this shit after the season has come out, so I can fast forward through that garbage, because it's completely meaningless to me.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe some people love that sitting on, maybe that makes them sit to the edge of their seat and they're really captivated. I think when they overplay it like that, they've overplayed their hand at this point. And every show is formatted the same way. The Walking Dead, Sons of Anarchy, you go right down the line with AMC originals. They're all formatted the exact same way. And it starts to bug me.
If I'm not mistaken, Breaking Bad was AMC too, correct?
Yeah, yeah. And there was a point where that
every season of that.
I loved every season of it too. I'm not saying that there weren't some episodes, but I mean, hell, if I try to get me to write something for 7 freaking seasons that's awesome every single moment of it, it's just not possible.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think you're right though. That might have been the best thing they ever released for my money.
Yep. Yeah.
Back to zombies for just 2 seconds, man. The thing I was thinking about zombies the other day is like, they're not worried about love handles or anything. I got to worry. I would have loved nothing more than while I'm down here in Mississippi and away from some of my primary responsibilities. Like I can't go drive my tractor or any of that stuff after work. I just got to come back to my hotel room and do more work from the civilian world that I'm missing out on, or the administrative stuff from the military that I don't get to do while I'm out in the field. So I got to come back to the hotel room, do more work. I would love to drink a few beers while I'm doing that stuff, but I can't have my love handles blowing up on me. So there are times where you kind of go, man, I kind of wish I was a zombie. Like they can fill up on brains and guts and just about anything else, and they never gain a pound. In fact, I think they're still losing the whole time.
I think they are too. Every season they get skinnier and skinnier, man. And maybe that's why they can't go on after, the summer finale season, because they're going to wither away to dust,
Yeah. Something else I noticed about the Walking Dead zombies is like they obviously don't, if there's a neural pathway that's missing in life, it's still missing in death. Like the zombies in wheelchairs are still in wheelchairs. And the ones that like have a busted up leg or something, their leg is still messed up,
Yeah.
Like they don't suddenly regain control of a broken arm or something. It's just still flopping around there.
And I don't know if you've ever noticed. I've only noticed it a couple times, but it had to at least happen more than that. But there are some that have the long hair and stuff like that. Obviously, you don't know man, woman, whatever, but wearing like shower robes and stuff like that. So it's like,
Yeah.
and you got knocked off getting out of the bathtub, dude.
Right.
Sitting in the shower robe, and next thing you know, you're getting attacked by a zombie, and you're one of them.
Or maybe they were just chilling out at home. It was their day off and all that, and they answer the phone for the
Could
pizza
be.
delivery guy or something. Pizza delivery guy bites them, whatnot. It's like the
Could
zombie
be.
porn.
It very well could be, man. I mean, you never know. Yeah, you never know. So just while we're on topic of zombies, did you like Zombieland or no?
Oh, I love that show, man. It's hilarious. And even the second one wasn't terrible.
It was not terrible, but here again, it's tough to beat the first one out, but it was
No,
so
but
good.
I'll tell you what, I'm less tolerant of sequels for movies sucking based on the simple fact that Breaking Bad was awesome for how many years, and they had, you know what I mean? I understand maybe they don't put the same kind of writers on it. It's a different format. There's got to be some stuff that isn't same. But we're talking about making how long is 7 seasons if you go 10 episodes a season, and that's light, right? So 10
Yeah.
episodes a season, that's 10 hours times 7. You got 70 hours, maybe 100 hours or more worth of Breaking Bad out there, and I'd say 80% of it is top quality. And then you got 10 or 15% that's pretty damn good, and then 5% that sucks, or you could do without. And you can't write me 3 hours worth of good material. You know what I mean? You can't write me at 90 minutes to follow up on 90 minutes. Come on, man. There's something ain't right with that. So I think the days of shitty sequels should be absolutely gone.
I do agree. To a certain extent, there are a lot of sequels I like equal or more than the 1st one. It just depends. It's like a lot of times it's like they want to outreach the first one, and is that or the patron looking to watch a movie, man, they're just expecting a lot more because you blew their mind, so you can blow it even better this time.
Oh yeah.
So it puts you in a different category of if you're gonna make it pop, then it's probably a really good fucking movie. So
Yeah, I think the Lethal Weapon series and Die Hard series, I think those did pretty well. I'm not
Yep.
saying that Die Hard didn't eventually wear out its welcome when Bruce Willis is out running a friggin' fighter jet with a semi truck. All right, we could do
Yeah.
without that shit, but
I think they should have wrapped it up with Samuel L. and been just fine.
that just, my goodness, man, that is by far my favorite one of those. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the original one because it takes place during Christmas, which makes it a Christmas movie all the way. Plus, it's got Run DMC in it, so that's totally a Christmas movie. But yeah, man, Die Hard with a Vengeance. There's just something about New York and the whole buddy thing with Samuel L. Jackson. It was a phenomenal thing. Plus, it happened to be at that right time, at 1994, right? I was just fresh off of active duty. I was getting ready to meet one of my best friends in the world, Tracy Barr, in a few years. I had moved down to
even know who
Kenosha.
that guy is. Yeah, tell me about him someday.
He's wonderful, man. Anyway, it was just it was a great time for movies. It was the same year that Pulp Fiction came out, and both of those were on. I was working maintenance at a Holiday Inn Express up in Kenosha, or as a Holiday Inn at the time, and it was great because I'd get all my work orders done for the day. I'd see a few other things messed up and do a few more just to show off to the boss, and then I'd go chill out in one of the rooms and hack into the satellite system there. I don't remember how the heck I did it, but I know I knew how to get into the pay-per-view stuff for nothing, like I knew how to hook up the TV just right. And I'd
Man,
sit there and watch Pulp Fiction and Die Hard with a vengeance all day long, man. It was freaking great.
dude, I used to work at Green Mills, the Comfort
Yeah.
Inn, Fairfield Inn. Dude, I used to work the night on it, so I was in there alone, and it was right by Six Flags. So during the summer, we were always full. Everybody was always checked in by the time I got in there, and all I had to do was put a sign up saying, sold out. Lock the door. They wouldn't even come in, dude. I was having a heyday with that. I go in and watch all these movies because, you know, it was tough to get movies back in the day that were still kind of new and fresh. I do the same thing, man. I'd sit there and I'd go and I'd raid the complimentary breakfast and stuff like that. And I had this one group of kids, they were older than me so I was probably 19. And I had this group of about 6 or 7 of them that just kept banging on the door. And they looked pretty rad, you know, just a bunch of rocking kids. And they're like, hey, man, we'll pay you cash if we can just come in there and, you know, sleep in the waiting room. There's no place. And I'm like, yeah, there's no place, man. You're in Gurnee. You got Six Flags during the summer. You ain't gonna find a room. You got to think ahead, kid. He's like, I'll pay you cash. It's like, how much are we talking cash? He hit me up with like $20. And I said, $20 to lose my job? You're crazy. I said, how about we do this? How about you pay me $80 and I'll let you in this time. And you have my word, I'll let you in again when you come, but you can't take advantage. And then maybe we can see if we can work out a deal. So I brought him in, and unlike the pool, the door to the pool, and then I left the light off and stuff like that. Dude, they hung in there and they'd party all night, then pass out, and they'd be out by like 6 o'clock when I was cutting on a breakfast. And we I ended up seeing them a good couple times, but I guess to the point you just made me think of that when you were talking about working at a hotel.
You ever run into a hotel and like just use their restroom and leave? Or,
all the time.
When I was doing outside sales, man, I used to just do that whenever I could, man. You pass it by a Holiday Inn or a Comfort Inn or a Hampton or whatever, just pop in there. I mean, it's not like I'm going to do anything gross or whatever, but you know,
no,
they usually have a restroom in the lobby, the first floor there. So,
and it's cleaner. And all you have to do, even if you've never seen that lady, which you probably hadn't, when you go walking in, you just say, what's up? And you go, how you doing? And just keep walking like you're doing the joint till you find the bathroom. It's around the corner somewhere. But hopefully, to your point, I want to see if I'm right. They're cleaner.
Oh, yeah.
Than go into a fast food or a Walmart or something like that. Hell yeah, I do the same thing. And I don't even park in a parking spot. I pull up front and I go, well, not running anymore, but I go running in. And people that I saw work there in uniform, how you doing? How you doing? Keep running.
Yeah.
Somebody said anything, be like, no, that's my car. I'm staying here, but I'm running late for a meeting. I got to get going. I'll be right back in a little bit. See you later. Boom. I'm with you, man.
Yeah. Hey, you know, it beats stopping at a dirty gas station restroom and risking hepatitis, you know?
Yeah, dude. Because some of them you walk in and it's like you open the door and the doors are automatically closed. It's like it's sealing you in a fucking pit of shit. I mean,
yeah.
Because it's like, damn, now I'm in here. So thank God I only got to take a fucking leak. And then you look and you're like, there ain't no fucking paper towels. The fucking sink looks like somebody puked in it, hadn't been washed in 2 months. And I got to open this door and get the fuck out of here. How's this going to happen?
It looks like somebody sat the wrong way on the toilet and pooped down the back of the bowl and everything. It's just, there's some gross stuff that happens in restrooms.
Yep.
It's disgusting, man. And I've heard, you know, you hear from women that they're just as bad, if not worse. And
yeah, I was going to say, Mrs. Stray says that all the time, man. She says that they're so much worse than men's.
But how would they know? You know, how many times are they venturing into our restrooms? So I've been in some pretty funky restrooms on both sides, and I'll tell you, no, thank you. I mean, I'm not shy about it anymore, man. If the men's room is taken and I'm in a hurry or whatever, I'll go next door, as long as it's like a single, you know.
Yep.
And I don't want to cut anybody off or whatever. You don't see anybody coming, I'm gonna be in there for 2 minutes tops. All right, I'll go in there and unload on it. It's cool, but you know, no, I'm okay if I see a woman coming out of the men's room. What the hell do I care? You know.
Doesn't matter.
Hey, speaking of which, bud, I got a solution, a real simple solution to all this. You know, his, hers, and theirs situation, all that, a third restroom requirement, and all. We don't need all that nonsense. All right, and I understand it's not feasible, especially if you want to have multiple stalls. It's not feasible to try and just say, well, any gender can use any restroom, right? You still have to have some semblance of his and hers, right? Something along that line. But the real simple solution, we're making it too complicated is the thing. I could give a rat's ass how somebody identifies. I don't care. You can't possibly weird me out. I mean, I might say, well, that's weird. That's as much as you're going to get out of me.
Well,
right?
you got to think how many people are actually going into the bathroom and checking other people out whenever they go in a public restroom anyway. Am I not saying they're fucking crazy out there? Yeah. But still, it's not like a common thing, man. Nobody's checking anything out.
All I'm getting at is that we're making it too complicated. And you and I are starting to make it too complicated too. The conversation doesn't need to go that long, which is terrible for a podcast. You're trying to make a conversation out of it in a podcast situation. But here's the simple solution. You ready? Balls, no balls.
You know, my whole situation about bathrooms, though, bro, public bathrooms, is if you're in a wheelchair or if you're having to use a walker and ain't nobody with you because they had to go to the bathroom tour. And if it doesn't have that like walk in, you know, where you walk in and then you go around the corner and stuff like that, you have to push open a door, use one hand to guide your walker, turn your body to the side like this, lean up against the door, shimmy your walker in, and people are standing there watching you and won't help you.
Yeah.
And then you get in there, and there's one stall usually that'll fit either your walker or your wheelchair in there. One out of probably 6 or 7, depending on the place. There's one, and it's not even that accommodating. It's a little bit wider. Yeah. Is the seat any taller? No. Does it have a handle on the side? Sure it does. But it's fatter than my hand is because everyone uses the same fucking one. And my hand doesn't even wrap around it. So I'm basically having to leverage and shit like that. And I give a shit, like you said, balls, vagina, mix. I don't give a fuck. You know, people ain't looking at your junk and you can still get up. And if you need to go to the bathroom real quick, you can. And it's not a fucking process when you're out in public. It's horrendous. Some of the places like, it's not even bathrooms. Like, you know, Frank's Diner, right?
Sure.
My favorite place in the whole world. Frank's will never allow me to see the inside of that place again. It's not feasible. There is no way possible I can get in there. You got the steps going up into the trolley car. Trolley car is like that wide. So my walker's not fitting in there. Place is packed anyway. So I've talked to them, and Frank Steiner, not that you'll see this, but you're wonderful. Thank you for letting me one of like your only carry out people. You know, we appreciate it. Either way, yeah, move on.
So if I find myself up in your neck of the woods again, you think they'd let me give you a piggyback ride up there into a seat?
I don't know. I'd be dead weight, man, but yeah, you can try it.
That's all right. You can't weigh that much.
I don't. Went from like 210 to about $140, man.
But yeah, back to my simple solution, man. If you have balls, you use restroom A. If you don't have any dangles there, then you use restroom B. It's real simple. We don't have to make that much out of it. I could give a rat's ass what it says. You know, if it says something on your driver's license, then go to that one. I don't give a shit. If you identify as somebody with testicles and you don't have them, you still got to use the no balls restroom. Or I don't care. You know what I mean? Like if you want to use the other one, that's cool. That's your business. But it would be a pretty simple solution. And you could make a like a retro looking sign for each, making light of it or make, you know, whatever, make it not look gross or whatnot.
Yeah, I wish they would update the symbols for sure.
Yeah.
You know, they update everything else. You know, we don't have to have little circle heads and stuff like that. Make it fun, like you said. That would be awesome. And I don't mean put the little wood signs that say cowboys and cowgirls on it. Make it fun. Make it modernized, you know.
Yeah. And look, all right, you know, you ever walk down a street and start getting funny looks or people looking at you and smiling or giggling or something along that line and And then you realize that you had put on a funny shirt that day and then forgot about it?
No, I put on some very vulgar shirts and gotten
All
that
right,
kind of reaction, but
fair enough. My point is, I have been that guy on multiple occasions where I put on a pretty hilarious shirt and then I forgot I had on a funny shirt as I'm walking around in public later, and people are like following me with their gaze and giggling, laughing, whatever. Excuse me. And I'm like, what the hell's that guy's? Oh yeah, that's right. Got on a hilarious shirt today. Forgot all about that. So I'm glad that the guy enjoyed it. But you have to remember, and sometimes you forget. It's easy to forget when you're the person who's out of place, or you're the person who's the minority. You're funny, you're strange, you're a little bit whatever. Say if you're the only goth person in a room full of Catholics, you got to expect a few looks, right? You got to expect a couple of comments, maybe. And as long as they're not, you would hope that people aren't rude to you as a human being. Like in the military, our whole thing is this, man. You come to work, be whoever you want to be, but you're going to look the part in uniform. You're going to dress exactly the way that the regulations say you need to dress, and you're going to treat one another professionally while you're on the job, after work, etc. Right? You're going to treat people with respect at all times. That's the way every company could run if they really wanted to. And that's the way we could treat one another if we really wanted to. But instead, we have to rip on each other for being different. Look, I can't stand country music, man. I don't understand that people listen to it. All right. For the most part. But I'll say this, if it makes them happy, hell yeah, man, go for it. It's none of my business. You start polluting my ears with it, we might have a conversation about it. But and I'm sure those people probably feel the same way about my Slayer and Megadeth and Anthrax, So,
no, I'll do that.
but you get
Yeah,
what I'm saying, man.
no,
So the point is,
I
if
agree
you're the
100%. But
if
I
you're the
love that's what makes us all individuals, man. That's why I'm fascinated by meeting someone that has completely different opinions and interests than I do. Kind of opens your eyes sometimes. Sometimes you're like, yeah, I don't give a shit about that. But hey, you know what? You like it, it's cool.
My point
And
is, if you're the bearded lady, you should expect people to look at you funny. Okay. Until they get used to you, they're going to look at you funny. They're going to have a reaction, and that's normal human behavior. So I'm tired of people being offended by people being offended or people being shocked or whatever. Dude, you're the one that's different. You're the one that's strange. Deal with it. Okay. They have never met anyone like you before. Sometimes that's your objective, is to get a reaction out of somebody so that you can be upset by it. I got no use for you. But if you're the person who's innocently going through life just being the weirdo that you were blessed to be, fine. But you better expect a reaction when you're the only person, within spitting distance who looks, acts, dresses, whatever, the way that you do. And it's perfectly okay to be you. It's also perfectly okay and human to have a reaction to you, if that makes
oh
sense.
yeah, no, yeah, dude, I'll live to react on some of the times the way people look. I'm fascinated with it, man. I figure
Yeah,
it goes for them too. They got enough power and comfortability to wear it out of their house. Shoot, they're in a very, very small percentage that
yeah.
get out of their comfort zone and do stuff like that. So,
One of
and
the
then
best things I've ever been able to do is go around the world and meet people of different cultures and figure out the way they do stuff. I mean, it's weird when somebody puts cream in their tea, but I tried it. It was actually pretty darn good. When I was in the Middle East, they put cream in their tea, and they eat these. They call them crackers or biscuits, but they're actually kind of sweet. So they taste like a cookie, but they crunch like a cracker. And they put those right on top of their tea, or they dip them in it, or just eat it alongside it, or whatever. I prefer eating alongside. I like them crispy. But it's really cool to me to go around the world and meet people who don't think the way I do. I
yeah,
love
that's
it.
cool. That's awesome. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna call it a wrap. I got
Outstanding.
kind of like Chevy Chase says, I got a thing, man. It's always good talking to you, brother.
You too, man.
Hey,
Hey,
everyone. Thanks for watching. And stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed yet, check out Six Dudes in a Six Pack or be around.
check out
Hope you
Bunker
enjoy.
Labs.
Right on, right on.